Hello,
Okay, there goes your
guys.
number. Hello, people. This is Mountain back in MS7 Productions, and this right here is kind of something new. I don't know. We'll probably be using his video of this, because it won't show his PC specs. We'll probably be using my audio if my audio ends up better. It'll be synced, hopefully, to a good degree. Could you move up real quick on the thing so I have a sync reference? Can you move up?
No, it cannot.
You can't move your little finger thing up.
Oh wait, what are you talking about?
The finger on the screen.
Oh, that doesn't
Move it
make
up.
any sense.
Okay, now move it down. Okay, there's a reference there. And okay, so this may be something that I was actually thinking of doing this, dude. As kind of like something we could do, like take little imported games or all that. Like what's it called? Crap, I forgot what it's termed.
Port.
Yeah, ported games,
Okay.
and see how well they run on their ports.
Okay, we haven't really come up with a name for this because I think the name that I used is copyrighted, so I'm not going to say it.
We'll go with some.
Yeah. Anyway, Final Fantasy XIII was a game that came out on Xbox 360 and PS3 about 2010-ish, to my knowledge.
I wasn't even aware this was on Xbox.
Yeah, this is a relatively old game.
I know.
Supposedly, PlayStation wanted to release it to PC. In light of the current state of the PC port, I would severely question that, and I'll explain why in a minute.
Wonder if an emulator would run it better.
I would argue it would.
Yeah, so there's probably
Okay,
what I'll be
so-
doing more of is emulators.
Here's the first problem. Let's look at the settings, which
Oh, no,
Charlie
invert
probably
y-axis.
can't see very well.
Yeah, I got a little bit of specs over us. I could see invert y-axis. I could see event
Okay,
subtitles.
subtitles, that's good. Speaker names, that should be on, because I find that easy. A battle difficulty and a battle speed. Okay,
I would have speed up to high.
it's normal or slow.
Wow.
Battle speed in here is pretty fast, so that's really not an issue.
Okay.
Default battle command, you can set to auto battle or abilities. For those of you that were hoping that the lag on input that was kind of there whenever you played on the Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 would be taken out when you got to PC, no. It's worse. It's
Oh,
much
God.
worse.
Oh god. I'm kind of curious to see this now. I want to see it in
Alright.
action.
Target selection from list or via cursor. List is easier, cursor's more interactive. There is keyboard settings, and you can kind of rebind them.
I wouldn't even call it rebinding.
Sort of. Eh.
Why is that not? Why is this still not a universal thing? Universal rebinding of every key on a keyboard for any game.
Because in the case of this, frankly, to me, it literally looks like they took the Xbox 360 port of the game and spoofed it up a bit to run on PC. I'm not joking. I wish I was. And you'll see exactly why I think this in a minute. Alright, so for the benefit of people who don't see it, I've already started the game and loaded into it a bit. I'm going to run a couple minutes of the first opening cutscene to kind of prove a point here. Pay very close attention to the frames per second counter. Y'all should still see that in the upper left-hand corner. I left it on for a reason.
It's in blue. Mine is in red.
Blue's easier to read.
That is
Like
very true.
proven
I just
fact.
like mine in red.
Alright. It'll prompt you for normal mode.
I see your GPU's doing great. Says your CPU and your megabytes.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the megabytes isn't there just how long we're going?
No, that's the actual exportable file size.
Yeah, what about the timer next to it?
That's the timer.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
the
I'm seeing a little bit of
megabyte
lag
count
here.
is...
Of the end.
Okay, now, a lot of this is due to recording software. When I ran this without my graphics card, it pretty much stuck at around 60.
Ran this without your graphics card?
Without the software, sorry. Yeah. Derp.
60 is pretty good, and that's twice as fast as what the
It's
ice.
locked at 60. according to the disclaimer that's on the thing about it. Alright, so either way, there's a little bit of lag due to the recording software. There's not really much I can do about that.
I actually figured this, like, your computer would be a computer that wouldn't give this.
Be quiet.
It normally doesn't. This is a case of porting done bad.
Almost HD.
It is HD. It's low quality HD. This is running at 1280 by 720, or what most people refer to as 720p.
Yeah.
Alright. I mean, as you can see, as soon as it goes to a transitional cutscene, FPS jumps up.
Yeah. Looks like there was a priority there. Okay. So, we're seeing a good bit of gameplay. We're seeing a lot of graphics. It is indeed in HD, I can tell you that. Just like how my TV runs, except apparently...
Yeah, except... And Charlie, I can't show this to you very well, because I can't change the window size at all. Because this is running what is technically downscaled for my monitor.
Oh yeah, you got this giant screen.
I have a 23-inch monitor that runs at 1080p, like most average PC gamers.
I'm sorry for having a...
You have a laptop, that's not the rule for y'all. 1080p on a laptop is unusual. 1080p on a desktop is considered standard.
Actually, you know what's funny is my other laptop is a widescreen, but its screen actually is not as wide as what this one is, and this one is not a widescreen.
It's probably still 16 by 9.
Actually, I don't know. Let me pull out a little ruler.
That's not what that means, stupid.
Shut up.
Okay, so aside from me being respectably good at a game that I played the mess out of on other consoles,
And I've only played the first one ever.
the cutscenes look better than they did on the console, to a degree. The actual gameplay, though, whenever I get into the open worldness, y'all are gonna notice something, hopefully. Now, those of you with a relatively decent eye... Hold on, sorry, I did not mean to do that. Cancel. Yes, I do. May have noticed Lightning's hair.
You sure we can get through here?
Oh, I see. It's like, besides being pixelated, there's missing pixels.
There's missing pixels. It's... Frankly, it looks like on a console when something's about to pop in. That's the best explanation I have. If you play Halo at 720p, if you play Halo 4 at 720p, I'm sorry, Halo 3, Charlie, you noticed it last time we played it, how things just kind of materialize?
Oh, yeah, kind of how
This looks like it's in the process of materializing.
Yeah, how it strings in. Because it kind of does look stringy. It also looks like there's a hole in your head.
And this is about where I played to so far. This is just a standard problem. It doesn't go away. This isn't an error at the beginning of the game. This is a thing.
Is her weapon supposed to be at her, like, knees?
Yes, that's actually pretty much what she carries it.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I thought
So
it was...
aside from running like a horse's rear end, it doesn't look too great either. Alright,
I think the emulators did better.
now, yes, the emulators would have done better. I'm going to go back to the main menu. Wait, no, that's not what I want to do. Cancel that. If I can figure out how to get into the main menu.
What's the pause button? You need a controller, man. A controller.
It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't have controller support?
Okay, well, I'm just going to sit here because this is a pretty decent way to minimize action and all that.
Besides the blinking. And it still won't shoot very far over 20.
Yeah. Now, let me see.
Didn't you say that there was, like, problems with getting this to work, too?
What do you mean?
Like you said you fixed the, whatever. I think. Let me check that. Come here, my not magic. My magical device of telling me stuff.
I didn't really have any issues getting it to run. I had some issues with...
Oh, that doesn't say fixed. That says Final Fantasy XIII.
Yeah, which is FF and the Roman numeral 13.
Yeah.
Which is the standardized abbreviation for Final Fantasy.
I thought it said so I have fixed.
No.
With a few typing errors. Okay. I can't read, so...
I'm getting rid of the flashy stuff, so give me a second here.
I can't read. It's okay. I accidentally told someone that their pizza was $60-something today when it was $46.
And yeah, the alerts of new stuff in the equipment section hasn't changed in the slightest, but that doesn't really matter. Yes, shut up about status. Okay, so that appears to be running relatively nominal. This is the main character menu. All right, so
I don't like the member's face. He just looks weird. He looks like a pedo drug dealer on the side over there.
Saws is awesome. Thank you. All right.
So what other complaints do you have about this, my fine sir?
1 second.
It is almost 9:45. Or 21:41 hours. You and your military time clock. I don't even use a digital clock. Actually, I don't like digital clocks, to tell the truth. I like clocks that don't have numbers on them, really. They have, like my clock has motorcycles on it. And the motorcycles have nothing to do with
Alright,
what
I'm back.
numbers are. Okay.
Sorry about that.
I know, I'm just talking to myself. I'm pointing the difference between your clock and my clock.
Okay.
How my
That
clock
is just kind of irrelevant because they can't see that.
Yeah, it kind of is irrelevant, except yours is in military time and mine has motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Alright.
serious. I don't use digital clocks. I hate them.
Here's where the ranting starts. And hopefully... Wait, did it stop recording?
No. Oh, it did.
What the heck? I did not tell you... I did not give you permission to stop recording.
Did it crash?
No, it's still here. Yeah, it's there.
I'll just put up some kind of thing saying, "Oops, error, sorry."
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. What we need now, like, seriously, I was just going to leave it on the screen because what I was going to do was go ranting. So, okay, are you actually recording my screen or just my voice?
Your screen.
Okay, so you're recording the stream. I'm going to show you something here and see if I can pull this up cleanly.
Okay.
If you go to Final Fantasy 13 on Steam, and you go and you look at the very highly detailed system requirements,
The minimal
which
and
I want to kind of give Square Enix props for, Except for, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Alright. Typical standard thing, recommended is at least Vista.
Ugh.
Frankly, if you have XP at this point, you're probably hacked, so sorry, you need to upgrade, man.
Yeah, XP was dropped. They're
The
no longer supported by anything.
recommended processor is an Intel Core 2 quad core 2.66 gigahertz or an AMD Phenom 2 X4 2.8 gigahertz processor.
So pretty much a game my processor would hate.
1 gigabyte of RAM.
Hmm.
An NVIDIA GeForce GTX 460 or an ATI Radeon HD 5870. May I point out that ATI sold out to AMD about 4 years ago, roughly. DirectX version 11. Hard drive space. This one kills me. 60 gigabytes. This is larger than Titanfall, people. And Titanfall is a heck of a lot prettier.
Oh yeah. And I've only got 48 hours of it.
DirectX 11 compatible sound card, which I don't even think exists, frankly. I've never heard that put on any game ever.
It may. I mean, my sound card seems to be compatible.
Okay, now, here's the little addendums that bug me. Maximum supported frame rate is 60. Okay, I'll give it that.
And the game controller using something input is recommended for this game. If using a
X input is Microsoft's driver for their 360 controllers.
oh, so exactly what I have. Oh joy.
For 360 controller pad. Now, here's what bugs me. Full screen display mode will only run on an environment that supports a screen resolution of 1280 by 720. I've gone and I've done multiple tests on this. The game cannot run beyond that resolution. Which doesn't seem like that big of a problem, except here's the thing. This is running at what is basically 720p. I'm sorry, it's not basically. That is the resolution for 720p. That is what is considered standard 720p. It runs like a monkey's rear end. I mean, everybody who watched this video, y'all saw the frame numbers. And that's why I was making such a big point about it.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and point this
Give
out.
a hint of what is in my computer. I am running an AMD 8350 8-core 4.1 gigahertz overclocked. It's a very small overclock, yes, but it works. With an HIS. This is not a market this is not a market card. This is an aftermarket cooling solution card. Ice Queen Radeon H280X.
Let's build a snowman.
This computer can run BioShock in excess of 80 frames a second at 1080p on its highest settings.
I don't even. What does it do with Skyrim again?
I've never actually run a benchmark now that I fixed the whole thing with Skyrim. For those of you that don't know, Skyrim has an issue where full screen mode doesn't work. You need to download a patch that it runs in borderless window full screen because for some reason it like triples the FPS.
Actually, I don't even think you have to patch that anymore. I think that became an actual thing.
I don't know. I haven't seen them updated in a while, but I digress.
We all digress. We all melt away. I don't know what digress
Okay.
means.
So, digress means to get off topic, Charlie.
Okay.
Here's what I see possibly happen. Either A, the guy who ported the game was more
Lazy.
drunk than a moisture farmer from Star Wars. Or B, Square Enix told their department to take the Xbox 360 version of the game and patch it up to run on PC. Because the sad part is, to my knowledge, the PS3 version of this game runs at 1080p. This is running at 720. And it makes a lot of sense because here's a little software thing for people that don't know. The Xbox 360 shares a lot of core libraries with Windows. It is not perfectly cross-compatible, but there's a lot of stuff that carries over pretty cleanly. DirectX is one of them.
Wait, DirectX is on Xbox?
Yeah,
Did not know.
that's all Microsoft. I forget what it's called. Several games that were on Xbox Live that got ported to PC use it, but it's Microsoft's little XBNA thing.
Oh, okay.
That's all that is it adds the DirectX hooks for that the Xbox uses and translates them to Windows.
Okay.
Which they didn't even bother using that, which is kind of sad. Now, because this never will show up in the recordings because of what my recording software does, but Charlie, you saw it.
Yeah.
It says this requires DirectX 11. What was the rendering engine that it detected?
I don't even remember.
It was DirectX 9.
Oh God. Wait, but you should have way over DirectX 11 if there
No,
is anything.
DirectX 11 is currently the highest. DirectX 12 is supposed to be released with Windows 10, I think, or
Yeah, I
a
completely
patch
skipped.
for 8.1. I'm not sure. Point being is that one, it's not even running on DirectX 11. As a matter of fact, I've never seen anybody specify DirectX using the term version. They always just put
DirectX.
DX11 because that's the standard abbreviation for it.
I don't know. Everything I always get always says DirectX 10. I don't understand that, but okay.
Now, if it's a RAM limiting issue, that's on Squaresnix. Okay, assuming you live in the Stone Age and you still have a 32-bit computer,
Oh God.
field right there could take 4 gigabytes at a maximum.
Well, does that mean my other computer can't have 32 gig? I mean, over 4 gigabytes of RAM?
There's a way around that. It's called physical address extension. It's not that hard.
Okay, because it is a 32-bit computer.
Yeah, there's ways around it.
Okay.
In general, unless you're willing to mod your OS, you can only have up to 4 gigabytes of RAM on your computer at any given time.
Well, my OS technically
Most
is modded. It is hacked.
Have 64-bit computers today and can have up to 512 gigabytes of RAM on their computer.
Okay, well, would a hacked version of Windows 7 Home Premium considered modded?
It's a specific mod you have to apply.
Darn. Okay.
You have to go get the patch, download it, and install it. It's not hard.
I'd actually need to completely reinstall a whole nother. I think I would actually need a whole nother
Anyway,
RAM
before we
card.
progress too much terribly further, because Charlie is Charlie.
Topic no.
Most games nowadays require at least 2 gigabytes for a whole host of reasons. Even assuming Squarespace was lazy and only set up the API programming to run at 32 bits, this should run with almost 4 gigs of RAM.
Yes, but isn't there also like the whole entire feature? Well, not feature. The whole entire problem that like what I have with Minecraft. I can't run Minecraft in its default texture pack because my computer, my processor, hates it so much because it's not high enough bit. I have to run an
No,
HD
actually,
texture pack.
that is specifically a problem on your end, to my knowledge. I can run when I run Minecraft with it's just less it has to load.
So I'm not the only person that seems to have this problem. I've read a bit of it on some forums, and I know
That
some other people who
is
have the
a
same problem.
graphics card problem and not a processor problem.
Could be.
Whatever API hooks they have on the graphics card aren't interfacing correctly with Minecraft. It has nothing to do with the texture bit size. That may just be a side effect.
Oh,
It's programming on somebody's end.
no, literally, all I know is that anytime I switch over to an HD texture pack, my frame rate almost triples.
Like I said, that's a side effect of poor programming.
Possibly. Okay, well, then let's continue.
Point being,
You have an actual graphics card, so yours is probably programmed to handle that. Mine's not.
Mine's a legitimate graphics card that's been in business for several years. Sorry, I was seeing what that one notification was.
I didn't even see it.
Alright.
I'm looking down at my foot at this hole on my foot. Well, it got quiet.
Yeah. Anyway. So, logically speaking, by my reckoning, my computer should theoretically be able to run this into the ground. This is a watchdog situation.
Oh god, not
For
that
those
again.
of you that don't know about the Watch Dogs situation, when Watch Dogs was released, a very good YouTuber that I trust his reviews from made a point of he was running a rig with dual SLI Titans, and the game on its highest settings would not peak above 45. That's a bit of an issue. And this is the same thing. There's no reason that this shouldn't be running like at 60 without dropping a frame VSync on this computer. Because when I go and look at the system processes that I run, as a matter of fact, Troy, because I'm running it on yours, I can show it here. I'm going to open the game in windowed. And I will... You can see it right there. DirectX 9 32-bit compiler. Alright, so I'm going to let the cutscene run, because that seems to be the more intensive part here. And I'm going to tab out, and it'll stay running in the background, and I'm going to open my task manager.
50 frames.
Okay, let me go and find our dear good friend, Mr. Final Fantasy.
I love how your task manager is so much different than mine.
AVG PC tune-up.
I know.
I would
and your
recommend
rendering
that to
setting.
anybody who runs a gaming rig. Do you see how little of my processor this is using? Look at this.
The CPU? Like
Yeah,
8.3%?
CPU,
9?
less
8?
than 10.
Yeah.
Memory usage, less than a gigabyte. IO read, 157. IO write, 19 kilobytes. Okay, those last two numbers aren't really that relevant. That's more of a really nerdy thing that doesn't matter with games all that often. This isn't even using a gig. This isn't even using 10%. Skype is using more power than this thing is.
Oh god, it is. I just never realized that. Oh boy.
Alright, so let's go into gameplay and hopefully things get a little bit more intensive. Now, from Charlie's screen, y'all should be able to see the thing peeking in the background. I'm skipping the cutscenes because the cutscenes are boring. Ooh, it peaked to 30 because I left it highlighted. Yeah, okay, it is the correct thing highlighted. So, skipping the tutorial because people are bad. I played the game enough times to be able to beat this guy in my sleep. I mean, I don't think he can actually kill you unless you just stand still. Okay, keeping an eye on that percentage number while in what should be one of the most intensive things in the game, I haven't seen it spike above 16.
I've only seen 15.
Yeah.
I think the
There's
cutscene.
60, 21, because it's loading the next scene. Because...
Yeah, this is really quite bad. I mean, really, this little usage on your PC, and your PC isn't your processor just about equivalent to mine, and mine eats up anything, so that's why we named it Monster.
Computer-wise, processor-wise, we're about even. Graphics card-wise, Charlie, sorry, mine stormshares into the ground.
You're not only stomping into the ground, you bake it a cake and throw it at me at the same time.
So, here's the thing, and I'm gonna just leave my desktop up because it's a very nice reflecting picture.
I know, I really like that background. Is that one of those backgrounds that goes over both of your screens?
Aye.
Oh boy, I'm guessing you're on Honey Badger.
Yeah, I brought Honey Badger home with me.
Yes.
That's why I said Honey Badger. I mean, I'm running this on Honey Badger. This should be like...
Honey Badger... wasn't there a story behind naming it Honey Badger or not?
Yes, but that's kind of irrelevant to the point and completely unscientific.
Oh, because I like stories. of why we name our laptops things.
I'll tell it at the end of the video, and that way they could watch the last 5 minutes and see if they want to know these things.
Okay.
Alright, so y'all know what's in the computer. You know what the game requires to run. Does anybody out there who wants to leave a thing in the comments can come up with a logical reason why it is running so bad? I would really like to hear it. I'm not going to doubt you if it sounds like a legit reason. The problem is I can't really think of one.
If you could figure out a way to maybe make it run better, whether it be going through the files,
Oh, that will happen. That will happen.
Yeah. If
Sure.
you could just find a way,
here's-
just put it in the
here's the
comments.
This is the third time this has really happened.
Isn't Castle Crashers one of them?
No, Final Fantasy VII and VIII were reposted to Steam with supposedly new graphic updates. Which to a degree they were, but they actually were better than this at least. At least Final Fantasy VIII respects the fact that my native resolution is 1080p.
My native resolution
The
isn't
point being
even true.
is, I don't know what it is about Square Enix where they port games over to PC, but they do a really crappy job porting them, or they do a really crappy quote-unquote redux, and then they get mad whenever the PC community mods the living crap out of it to make it to what they wanted it to be. I doubt this will ever get watched by somebody from Square Enix, but on the offhand chance it does, here's a little tip. If you don't want people to mod your video game so bad, stop making it so crappy.
I know.
I
Minecraft.
wouldn't mod Final Fantasy VII if it actually was the graphical improvement that I thought I paid for.
I think I just insulted myself. I just said Minecraft after that. I love Minecraft. It's amazing.
Yeah.
See,
I mean,
what do we have that I could say that on? I actually can't think of anything.
Here's
TF2. There you go. TF2.
here's the other thing that bugs me.
What?
Final Fantasy 13. Okay, the other two were T-rated games, so I kind of let it slip with the assumption that, okay, they were expecting people who didn't know what they were doing to have this game. Final Fantasy 13 is an M-rated game. That means it is not supposed to be sold to anybody under the age of 18.
Or me.
Now, one thing that computer gamers are well known for is we like our graphical options menus. We like them. We like being able to tweak them.
I like making my things all shiny.
Yeah. None of those games feature that. They have the ability to run them in the original resolution. In the case of this one, this is the original resolution, which is kind of the problem at hand. There's no graphics settings, and frankly, it looks like they didn't put any on it engine-wise, given that Lightning's hair looks like it's trying to phase in on the screen. I could be wrong, but that's just my interpretation of what I'm seeing there. So, final say on the matter, it is a very, very bad port, and anybody who purchases it thinking that it's going to be this uber awesome shiny new thing, I hate to tell you, it's not. I will say this, although in most normal situations I don't abdicate modding something that you're technically not supposed to mod, the community will probably release mods for this that will fix it. Square Enix will get upset about it, but
We don't care.
my point on it is if you don't want people to mod it so blasted bad, make it the port it's supposed to be.
Stop running it on I can't even think of words anymore. Oh god. Oh my god.
Because I'm going to pull this up on screen. This is the out-of-game settings. I've showed y'all the in-game settings in my little portion of the video. This is the out-of-the-game launcher. Alright. You can change the audio from English to Japanese, and you can change where it's Windows or full screen. I have a suspicion this isn't going to change anything. I'm going to quickly go into it out of my own curiosity.
Let's see if it turns my screen black.
No, it'll show you what's behind my screen.
Yes, it did.
And
It zoomed in.
that's because it immediately forced the window resolution to 1280 by 720.
Yep. I like the nice zoom up on the bootleg folder and my stuff in Technic and Minecraft.
Okay, no, that folder doesn't contain what you guys think it contains. The modding folder for Final Fantasy VII.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't think you'd keep that on your desktop.
It kind of wound up that way.
Okay. Kind of like how I used to keep all my emulators in what's it called, roaming? Yeah, roaming.
Actually, no. I'll move it to my stuff there.
I used to keep everything on roaming till Blake told me, hey, those files randomly become active.
More or less.
Yeah, I moved them to documents after that.
Okay.
I have had less lag.
Okay. So, to go into the actual... No, not my documents. You saw nothing. There's nothing on this computer that I actually care about, so...
It's Honey Badger, how would you not? Did I see Elements 4?
Yes.
Was that Adobe?
No.
No, it couldn't have been Adobe. You're in your Steam folder.
4 Elements. It's a game. This is the Final Fantasy XIII directory. Now, literally, you have the launcher and this folder white underscore data, which is the game crap.
Okay, so it has the launcher, but where's the application?
That is in system... Actually, no, it's not.
The application should be next to the launcher.
Program win binary. Here it is.
That could be a problem, is that the application isn't in the same directory as the launcher.
It actually doesn't matter because you just write the code in the launcher to point to where the application is. Most people just keep them both in the same directory because it's easier.
Yeah, so now, loading something from the application sometimes actually is better than loading it from the launcher. Like whenever I first had Skyrim.
I've done both.
Okay, like whenever I first had Skyrim on my older computer, whenever I couldn't launch it with Steam, I launched it from the actual application.
Change a setting really quickly, but I will force it to load here in just a second. So I'll tell it to load into windowed, start the game real quick,
save changes,
to save the changes, and then I will immediately escape enter. And now I'll go to white data. Yes, Squaresnix is getting a little racist here for those of you that like jokes that way. Okay, here's the program. I'm going to run the program.
Looks like it's running about the same.
It's running at the 50 like I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay, now bear in mind, on a game like this, your opening screen should be a movie. So this shouldn't move. There should be no fluctuation because it's playback. Playback should be consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not streaming it for bloody sake. It's opening a file on my computer. Or it had better be opening a file on my computer because it took up 60 gigs of my hard drive space.
Looks kind of like it's writing it as it goes. With the way it's fluctuating. It's like generating new chunks in Minecraft.
I'm not going... how bad it's running, I'm not going to be surprised to find
if it is doing that.
No, if it is being emulated. I mean, that's how bad it's running. This feels like an emulator. It really does. And not a very well set up one either. Anyway, I think that about covers it.
Okay, so probably gonna name the series Port what's it called? Port reviews or something? Port reviews? Is that something that's copyrighted?
I don't even know if what we came up with originally was. I just know the YouTuber did it.
I don't even know what original idea was.
Okay, they shouldn't be able to see this.
PC port reviews. There, that sounds good. PC port reviews. we're going to be reviewing ports, either it be from emulators or from Steam or whatever. See how well they work.
Emulators aren't ports.
I consider them ports.
They're not. And
Well, then
frankly,
maybe.
as far as emulation goes, there isn't much you can really do to fix anything.
Well, there was those 2 games where we just spent a long time trying to fix those 2 glitches.
Well, yeah, there's that. And, I mean, you could do that as a how to emulate this. Well,
Well, I think, so to me, it kind of all falls under the same category. We're taking a game that was originally from a different system and reviewing it on a system.
yes, but the concept behind a port is that the game manufacturer, in this case, Squaresoft, Squaresoft, however you want to remember them by,
I remember him by Squaresoft.
is making a paid effort by their professional team of coders and artists to port a game or create a game based off of the game that was released on another platform to make that same game run on this platform.
All I could say is we'll probably have to come up with a different name since port won't work, but what I'm wanting to do with this is we're going to take games from different systems that were transferred over to PC and see how well they actually run. Confront the problems that we had probably getting it to work or glitches that we have solved already. It's kind of what I want to do with this. Does that sound good to you?
And I will probably come back and make a video where people have figured out how to fix all the crap that's wrong with this. Because I'm sure they released this and immediately started working on it because that's bad.
Yeah.
There is no excuse.
Yeah. So, now, one last thing. What is the story behind the name Honey Badger?
Okay, the story behind the name Honey Badger is I bought this computer about almost a year ago.
Yes.
It was December last year when I ordered it. Came in January, and I started running games on it. And I noticed something kind of beautiful.
Which was?
It didn't matter what I ran on it. It ran almost everything at 60 hertz, or 60 frames per second, 1080p. Now, I realize that's not absolutely astonishing to some people. And to be fair, it isn't. I don't have a monitor that could support a resolution, a refresh rate higher than 60 hertz. Or a resolution, sorry.
Okay. So...
I hate being stopped up. Or a resolution higher than 1080p. I want to get one, but they're like $400, so that may happen eventually.
Okay, so how does that come up with Honey Badger?
Well, there's the old saying of Honey Badger don't give a crap.
Oh, well.
And in the case of this computer, it really doesn't.
So it's kind of the same reason why I named my laptop Monster.
Because it consumes everything you put in front of it.
Yes. And my other one is I still can't really decide between Dummy, Spaz, or Twitch. I'm thinking Twitch is more likely because it does randomly twitch.
Well, anyway, I think the stream here has done all it can really do.
Until then, this Mel does something. Not gonna say your name.
Oh, and this is Mischief247 or Blake.
Signing out. Bye.